All right, let's jump right in. The world of real estate, that whole bedrock of buying, selling, and owning our homes, it's going through a massive redesign. And the architect behind it all? Artificial intelligence.
So you might be asking, how is this really changing things? I mean, this is so much more than just fancy virtual tours. We're talking about a really deep structural shift in how the entire industry works, from that very first hello with a client to how you unlock the value in your own house.
And here's the thing, this isn't some sci-fi future we're talking about. It is happening right now, probably a lot faster than most people realize. So let's pull back the curtain and take a good look at this new blueprint for real estate.
Okay, first up, smarter agent-client connections. We're going to see how AI is basically reinventing the most critical piece of the puzzle, that relationship between real estate agents and their clients.
Forever, one of the biggest headaches for any agent has been keeping in touch with people they've worked with before. You know how it goes. A deal closes and that relationship just kind of fades away. And that represents a huge, and I mean costly, gap in potential business down the road.
And this is precisely the problem that new AI tools are being built to solve. James Rogers, the CEO of RealReports, puts it perfectly. He says they're tackling this breakdown of long-term client engagement head-on. The goal is to keep agents as that trusted advisor, long after the keys have been handed over.
So how does it actually work? Well, a tool like Pulse isn't just sending out automated birthday cards. No way! It's analyzing massive data sets, it's tracking homeowner behavior, it's even looking at the kinds of questions people are asking an AI chatbot. And the result of all that? It can actually predict when someone might be thinking about moving. It turns what would have been a cold call into a warm, perfectly timed conversation. The agent's role is totally transformed from reactive to proactive. It's a game changer.
But look, it's not just about finding new leads. It's also about making agents way more effective with the clients they already have. So another huge innovation is centralizing an agent's entire workflow into one single smart platform. This is exactly why a big brokerage like Rogers Healy & Associates decided to partner up with a company called Rechat. As their SVP points out, agents are always on the go. They need tools that are mobile, that are fast, that are efficient. So by bringing everything into one AI-powered system, they can seriously boost productivity and just focus on what they do best, which is helping their clients.
All right, next section, automating the back office. So while the front door is getting a whole lot smarter, AI is also overhauling the engine room of real estate. All that paperwork and number crunching that happens behind the scenes.
I mean, think about it. For any real estate team, trying to manually track commissions and all those compliance documents is just a nightmare of spreadsheets. It is incredibly slow, and it's just wide open to human error.
And this is where platforms like Loft 47 are stepping in. Their founder, Sasha Hitchik, explains that they're basically eliminating all the guesswork. By automating these financial tasks, team leaders get crystal clear, real-time data so they can focus on growing their business instead of trying to make a spreadsheet balance.
And the impact is pretty huge. Users are reporting an over 90% reduction in manual entry errors. That is a massive deal for accuracy in a business where the numbers just have to be right.
And on top of that, get this, a 70% reduction in the time it takes just to calculate commissions. That frees up hundreds of hours. It lets people shift from doing tedious admin work to actually doing things that generate income. It's a win for accuracy and a win for efficiency.
This whole push for efficiency doesn't just stop with commissions either. It's now being applied to another notoriously slow and complicated part of any real estate deal, the property appraisal. The new way of doing things, like the system from Atlas VMS and HomeVision, is incredibly streamlined. An appraisal gets ordered, but instead of a person manually checking every single document, an AI does that first pass. This lets the human experts, the underwriters, focus only on the most important, high-level decisions. And the result? Much faster approvals.
And we're not talking about some small-scale experiment here. This tech is proven. HomeVision's AI has already processed over 2 million appraisal reports. It's become a trusted part of the whole system for some of the top lenders out there.
So, we've seen how AI is helping agents and the back-office teams. But what about us, the homeowners? Well, our third section looks at how tech is creating brand new ways for people to tap into the wealth that's tied up in their property. We're talking about unlocking home equity.
$2.5 billion. That's the amount of capital a single firm just committed to a home equity platform called Point. When you see that kind of money moving around, you know something really big is happening in how we think about home equity.
So why is this such a big deal right now? Well, it allows homeowners to get cash from their home's value without taking on new debt. And in a world with high interest rates, avoiding another monthly loan payment is a massive advantage.
So let's break down the difference. A traditional loan means you've got new debt and those monthly payments. A home equity investment, like what Point offers, means no new debt and no monthly payments. So what's the catch? Well, instead, the company gets a share in the future increase of your home's value. It's more like a partnership than a loan.
And with that staggering $2.5 billion investment, Point's CEO, Eddie Lim, expects their growth to more than triple year over year. So this isn't some tiny niche products anymore. It's scaling fast to become a mainstream financial option for homeowners everywhere.
Okay, so we've seen smarter client relationships, we've seen automated operations, and we've seen brand new financial tools for homeowners. When you put it all together, what does this wave of innovation really mean for the future of property?
Let's boil it down to the key takeaways. First, AI is making those client relationships smarter and more proactive. Second, automation is just crushing those old-school bottlenecks that used to slow everything down. Third, new financial tech is giving homeowners way more power and flexibility. And finally, all of these pieces are connecting together to create a real estate world that's just faster, smarter, and driven by data.
Which brings us to a final thought here. As we watch code replace stacks of paperwork and data replace gut-feeling guesswork, it really makes you wonder, what's the next domino to fall? What part of the real estate world, something that's been done the same way for decades, is about to be transformed next?